so now the all right. I think we're probably gonna break the bench today. We're back with the CARL Fischer. We're gonna do something not very exciting at all today. We're just gonna try to clean this fingerboard up, and then we're gonna take a shot at getting some of this nasty glue out of here. We're just using naphtha and an old toothbrush. I'm doing like 3 frets at a time, and it's pretty gross. There's a difference between mojo and dirt. I don't mind mojo. I hate dirt. Or what I tell myself is dirt. Someone has already scratched the living snot out of this. Somebody's done a lot of this. You know, old guitar, what do you expect? You can see, I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, this is just hammered with scratches. Now, let's look at this. Boy, it should be nice if I put some batteries in it, wouldn't it? Alright, so I just had a random thought. We're gonna get the soldering iron fired up and see if maybe we could create a little steamage in here, so we can get this, because I'm gonna make the assumption that this is just hide glue holding this in, and if that's the case, then we'll make our own steam, and that'll soften that up, and we can just dig that out of there real quick. Let's give this a shot here. Okay, well that worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Now if I can just get my Q-tip off into my soldering gun here. Alright, well that was pretty damn cool. So put that in your bag of tricks, kids. If you've got to clean out an old inlay area and you're thinking it's hot hide glue, then put a little water in it and then steam it out with a Q-tip, because from that first batch we did, that thing is hard as a rock. So that hot glue has melted up in there and adhered to the fluffy cotton tip of the Q-tip. And so now we got a clean hole, and you know, that's okay. So now we have to get this bridge off, which is currently being held on by, you know, Gorilla Spooge. And there's a good and a bad part about that. Well, the bad part, which is most of it, is that Gorilla Glue is not affected by anything once it cures. The good news is, because of the way Gorilla Glue cures, it has a tendency to foam. And when it foams, it wants to lift things up. So we have a section on the back of this guitar, on the back of this bridge, that is lifting up, and we're going to use that to our advantage, as that's kind of our key to getting underneath this and getting it lifted off without doing, hopefully, very much damage. And it's this. Pass number one. And that's, oh, there you are. That's what we're doing. Shut up. So now what I'm doing is I've got a feeler gauge, and I'm just very carefully trying to push my way in there. Don't ever use Gorilla Glue. Ever. So here's my thought process, is that I've now probably gotten through most of what I'm just going to push through, because it looks like when this was glued, it went like this and it lifted up in the back, and this is that light foamy kind of bubbly stuff here in the back, whereas now that we're getting up towards the front part of it, we're into the stuff that has probably cured pretty solid. So I'm trying to stay as flat as I can. I'm not too worried about digging this. What I am worried about is catching a grain and starting to lift up the underside of that. We don't want to do that. We're trying to be as gentle and in do no harm mode as we can get. Alright, now I have this little micro saw blade. This is from a, I think this is from a Tamiya modeling kit when I used to do that. Yes, that's about as exciting as it gets. So you just kind of find a spot where it goes in, and then you start pushing it over. And people look at you when you're crazy when you take this into a shop And they say, well, how much is it going to cost me? And they're like, well, $9 bazillion. Because I'm sitting around doing this for a day. I should come up with an entire video series of things that we do not use to repair instruments. Nails, screws, Gorilla Glue. Welcome to Going Nowhere Fastville. I shouldn't say that. It's actually progressing pretty well. It's just slow, tedious work. And right now I have this razor file or razor saw blade. And again, it's super slow going. And it's not helped by the fact we're trying to stay as flat as we can in the hopes that all we're really sawing is the glue and not anything else. Remember, friends don't let friends use Gorilla Glue. So here we are, you know, a couple hours later. Yeah, a couple hours later. And as you can see, we're here. This razor saw will go all the way underneath it, all the way across. And we keep pulling that nasty urethane glue out of there. It just takes forever. Alright, well, with a bunch of effort and only minimal blood loss, she popped off. So we pull it back, and that, I'll own that one. That one's me. That one might be me. But there's a whole lot of other stuff. You can see all along here. There's some just, and I don't even know where this went, because that's just a big divot that, what is that? That looks like metal. So anyways, it's off, and so now we get to work at trying to get this back into some stability. Anyways, that was my day today. Yeah, let's hope your day went better. Have a good one. Cheers. Hey, if you like this episode of RATTLECAN Guitar Restorations, you might want to check this video out as well. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, and if you'd like to help the channel grow, consider stepping over to our Patreon page and giving that a look. Y'all have a good weekend. Cheers.